Yo guys, Insane Gamer 52 here, and today was the Call of Duty Next event, which means that we got sneak peek of the new zombies, which didn't look that great. But what we got after the showcase was 14 minutes of raw, uninterrupted gameplay that looks a lot better than what we saw at Next. So we're gonna break that down today. All right, first up, right here we have it's a attack map, right? But the big thing is we have the legend with it. So let's just get into this before we get into any of the gameplay, right? So there's going to be Aether Storm. It's not here. You'll see it later. Oh, you can. It's right here. It's right at the top of the map. That's essentially the center of the map, right? The map is in 3 different sections. It's got your outer section of the gray. It's, to the low risk zone, probably low loot as well. You got the middle section of orange. It's a little higher risk. Enemies might have a little more health. You might get into a little more intense situations. And then you got the red in the middle, and that is where you're going to have the most chaotic stuff. That's where the big bad bosses are going to be. It's where probably the big loot and maybe some Easter eggs and stuff are going to be. So that's just how the map is laid out. And it is on the Warzone map, which they said at the showcase is going to be about the size of Caldera. So it's going to be a little smaller than Al Mazrah, if you guys know the Battle Royale maps. So it's going to be about the size of Caldera. All right, so going through this legend, we got the Aether Storm. It's the, it's the radiations. That's where the outbreak started, right? In the cinematic trailer where the Aether canister, the vial, shattered and started the entire outbreak. That's the center of this. You got Pack Punch, of course. You got perk machines, buy stations. Fortress is something new. I assume this is going to be similar to a stronghold in DMZ and or maybe Black Site in Battle Royale, where you're gonna have some beefy enemies and a decent reward for getting it. Encampment, sounds like it might actually be other survivors perhaps, and you will see later on in this gameplay there are AI who are on your side. Future Insane Gamer 52 here, and after reviewing the gameplay again, I realized that what I thought were friendly AI were actually other players in the match. This means that these encampments are most likely just places where the enemy private military groups are. There are also AI who are against you. The basis of this mode is this is zombie outbreak, and who started the zombie outbreak was a private military group who was hired to go get the Ethereum vial that was then, destroyed and used as a weapon. And so you have that military group and the zombies as 2 enemies, but they can also fight each other. So that's very interesting indeed. So an encampment might be friendly AIs as well. You got gas stations, redeploys. Aether Nest is interesting. That'll actually be at near the beginning of this gameplay. You got wall buys, ammo caches, and mystery boxes. So that's about what we're going to see. I am going to be pointing to the mini-map very often because that's actually where you get the most information. So right here we can see you have contracts similar to DMZ. You have factions as well, faction missions. So this is similar to the faction mission at the beginning of DMZ. Whenever they did a reset, you always had to ping a contract, complete a contract. You didn't actually have to exfil for those. But it was just, use the minimap. So they're going to have faction missions similar to DMZ, and this UI is literally straight pulled from DMZ. Look at that. New mission selected, faction name, the 100% completed through it. It's literally pulled from DMZ. Pick up contracts to earn cash, obvious. You can see your squad missions as well up here in the top. I'm sorry, I am viewing a YouTube video. This is footage that was given to some of the creators at COD Next and is available to use. This is essentially, it's like a B-roll of just footage that they were given that they're allowed to make videos on. So I'm watching one of their videos without commentary, and that's why, you get a title up there. Thank you. Shout out Codename Pizza for uploading the no commentary version. So we got Outlast right here, which we will see in a minute as well. You got high value target. I forget what that's called. There's a bunch of different missions. They're all gonna have different objectives, of course. I don't know what that symbol is. That's not on that radiation symbol. That's not the Aether Storm is not on the legend. Okay. Oh well. All right. So with all that, let's get into the raw gameplay. Alright, so starting off right in the beginning, we'll just play. It's not gonna work. So up here, when we restart the gameplay, you'll see that you're in threat zone 1. So it's that outer the gray section of where there's not a lot of action going on, right? It's a low risk zone. You got your HUD right here. You got you'll have a pack punch level and an ammo mod, so you can have the cryo freeze or the napalm burst or whatever turned, whatever you end up getting for your ammo mod. And you have pack punch levels up to pack punch 3 as well. You got your gun and your attachments. You have kill streaks again, and there is a jug suit as a kill streak. Look at that. And then, of course, you got your field upgrade. Field upgrades look like they're the same ones returning from Cold War. You have your rucksack, which is going to be your backpack. It holds a bunch of your items. And, you know, you got your points and your teammates as well. Yeah. So there's the low threat in the top left as well. And actually, so you can see there are 4 exfil zones. So we learned today that matches are going to be 1 hour long. And after 45 minutes, the radiation, the aether storm, is going to start spreading throughout the entire map and kind of pushing you towards those outer exfil zones. You can exfil before that. You can exfil at the very end. And you will keep your items when you exfil. So you'll keep a wonder weapon if you have it. You'll keep perks that you can then pop at the beginning of next match. You'll keep weapons. You'll keep... I don't know if there are any other equipment and stuff. Maybe you'll probably keep kill streaks. I don't know if there will be like parts to like Easter egg steps that you might be able to keep and bring between matches. That would actually be pretty cool, because that means that the Easter egg wouldn't have to be limited to just 1 hour, right? You can get the Easter egg done in 4 different matches, which means it could be a much more prolonged and in-depth Easter egg. So hopefully that is the case. That would be wonderful. You do get a decent amount of XP for each of these zombies kills, and a lot of this stuff is taken from the current Warzone and DMZ, right? The TAC rovers, the vehicles. So this is a stronghold. You have to kill these cysts that are all over. Kind of reminds me of from Zetsubo no Shima. All the pods around. That is, I did not notice that zombie floating in the air. Alright, so we're gonna do the Outlast contract now. Double points. I really actually like that UI of the double points right there. Oh, you got your timer. Good. Can parachute really far. There's precision airstrike. You have energy mine, kill streak, entering a new zone. That's really cool that it tells you when you're going in between the zones, so you know, like, hey, I'm not too geared up. I accidentally went into like a higher tier zone, a higher threat zone. I really like that it tells you that. Or lower threat. You can parachute really far. And that is the Pack-a-Punch 2 camo. You can see down here, they have Napalm Burst and Pack-a-Punch 2 whenever it comes back. And that's the Pack-a-Punch 2 camo. Over there, that purple was actually the Pack-a-Punch 3. We'll see that later. The Casimir grenades are returning in the bottom right. You can see here, he's throwing it right now. There you go, the LT-53 Casimir. And he was also shooting at the other private military group, right? The mercenary kills that he just got right there was against other AIs that aren't zombies. It was against human AI. You got your in-game challenges, of course, killing 100 mercenaries. There's the energy mine. We'll actually see it go off a little later on. I do want to say, so someone else used the Tesla Storm field upgrade, which, you know, links you guys together, deals damage to any zombies that are hit by the links, and it also gives you guys increased movement speed as well. But if we go back just a bit, we can see there are indeed caches similar to Outbreak, right? So you can find loot by either killing zombies or enemies in general, right? They've been dropping a bunch of loot on the ground, and you also have these containers that can have a bunch of loot as well for you to help gear up. You know, you got your armor plates. You can see down here he has 5 armor plates equipped. There is also a spot for a gas mask for when you go into the Aether Storm and the higher concentration, the higher threat zones as well. Also, something to note, there are 8 teams of 3 players each, and you can assimilate up to a 6-player team. Again, straight taken from DMZ, kind of. So you can see they have 6 players right here. So this is a super squad of 6 players who hopefully have the same objective of, you know, going into the high threat zone, doing an Easter egg, doing some really difficult mission, and just surviving or whatever, you know. Hopefully your teammates are on board with whatever your plan was and not just kind of going off and doing their own thing, right? There is no PvP. It is only PvE. You can only shoot the zombies. You can only damage the zombies and the other AI in the game. You cannot harm other players. You could probably, you know, similar to the grief mode in Black Ops 2, you could probably, you know, take a train of zombies and go bring it to another player to, like, try and kill them, I guess. But, like, I don't even know if you'd be able to loot their bodies, right? Like, what would be the point of doing that besides just trolling? There are also different people. We saw green over here. There are different overseers who are guiding you through your missions and telling you about where to go and what to do. You'll see a bunch of different names there. Some familiar, some new. You can see they have Pack Punch 1 right there. There's a lot. The audio on this gameplay is very different. Different levels, it seems. I do really like the look of that Pack Punch 2 camo. So right there, here's where you see the 1, 2, 3. So they had the 8th, I'm sorry, not the 8th shot, the energy mine upgraded so that it had multiple bursts. So most likely you'll be able to do that, unless that is just the default behavior, and you won't be able to upgrade it outside in like an upgrade section, similar to how you could in Cold War. Enemies are driving the cars over there. And there is there are convoys, so you'll get points for like clearing a convoy. I'm not sure if that's this or if it has to be specifically marked by a contract. We'll see later on. Also something to oh, there you go, convoy. So that was a convoy. You clear, you destroy all their cars, you kill all of them. You get XP for that. There's a whole lot of monkey bombs and a counter UAV. The enemy's called in a counter UAV, which looks like it is very easy to shoot down. It's just kind of patrolling down, not very high above the ground. Has a good amount of zombies for a low threat 1 zone. Oh, and because the counter UAV is moving around, you're not always within its radius. That's very interesting. Look, his radar, it's back to normal because the counter UAV went out of his radius. You can pick up essence. He just picked up 100 essence on the ground, similar to Cold War. Finishing moves are so funny to have in zombies. I will say the guns look decent, like just gameplay-wise, but this is they don't look decent damage-wise. This is a threat 2 zone, so you saw how many zombies there were right there, right? Like, let's go back and look at it. That is a lot of zombies for just a tier 2 zone, right? That is a full horde of 20+ zombies. You got Mangler in there. You got some Hellhounds. Players are going down. That's actually an intense area that you can clear with field upgrades, right? Or a nuke, of course. We have the max armor upgrade, power up right there, which is good to see that that's returned. That's always fun, especially since, you know, Carpenter isn't going to exist. Having just the max armor is going to be really good. I really do like that they show the timer on the power-ups too. That's very useful. So something to note right here, this exfil that they're going to is red. I'm not sure what that means. I have no idea if there's a difference between the red one right here, or you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blues and 2 red exfils on this mini-map. I have no idea what the difference is going to be between them, because this is still in that red one is in a tier 1 zone. This is a low threat zone, right? So I don't know if it's different, like maybe you have to go to a red one to extract your weapons. You have to go to a blue one to just make it out alive. I don't know, perhaps. That could be something different like that. It's going to be very interesting. They have not mentioned different types of exfils in any blog post or anything like that. So it'll be very interesting to see what that is. They also have that contract ping that looks like kind of more like a commander. It's not the limited HVT, you know. Looks like a high-ranking zombie with a beret on, right? Okay, so this is the Outlast objective. We need to activate the PND, whatever that means. That's really cool. That looks Easter eggy or mission-y. So something to note, this is the wonder weapon first off. Second off, there's a sentry gun over here, and it's white. It's not red like an enemy. It could be a neutral thing that you can go capture or go use, perhaps. It maybe just be a turret on the ground that you can shoot, or it could be something that you see all these blue, you know, he only has 1, 2, 3, his teammates, his players, and then there are 3 other blue symbols on this minimap, right? So those are what I was talking about before, where you have you have the AI that are on your side and are helping you as well. So that could be their sentry gun. It could be something that you could just go control. It's definitely not an enemy thing, right? It's not red. But let's look at this gameplay of the Wonder Weapon. So the first thing to point out, look in the bottom left, look at the ammo. It's regenerating, right? It's just regenerating over time. It's not doing anything with it. It looks like it can go up to a max of 5. And then you charge up a shot to use all 5 of those. And so he's got 4 right now, and you'll see there are only 4 string, like 4, it's hard to see, but the single beams that come out of it, he only has 1. You're only going to see 1 beam. It didn't have a big area of effect. There was just the 1 beam in front of him. But the fact that this is a wonder weapon that absolutely destroys hordes of zombies and has infinite ammo, essentially, by regenerating over time by just charging back up is really cool. They did say that they added the horizontal ascenders, which is new to Warzone, but we actually had that in Outbreak anyways. Right? So they are about to go into the Aether Storm, and look, he has a durable cast knife at the bottom, and he's going to equip. And in here you see that all these zombies are affected by a Disciple. They're stronger, they hit harder, take more damage to kill. It has, you know, that red aura around them. Still has the Jug Suit and Frost Blast. Alright, so this is an Aether Extractors contract. It is a limited time contract. You have to disable the Aether Extractors, 5 of them. I will say, this is a purple shotgun, so rarities have come back to the game. It's not Pack Punch, though. Overload, so you just go up and you tap to, or you hold to interact and disrupt that. That'll be the 5th one, so that's the objective complete. Get some cash. You also get a reward rift has spawned, so I assume that'll be a little present symbol on the minimap, which is really cool. That actually might be what we saw. Actually, we might have been able to see it on the minimap right there. There was... No. Yeah. You can see it. It points you to where it is. It's right next to you. That's awesome. That's really cool to see.
Unscheduled disassembly. Consider yourselves grounded, Terminus.
I'm interested to see what type of rewards you get from that. If that's dependent on the contract, if that's dependent on the area that you did it in. You know, doing it in a high threat zone would be a better reward for a contract. So they just called it a mortar strike on themselves, which hopefully can't kill them. They are next to the Pack-a-Punch, which is in the medium threat zone, which is really cool to see. I love this Pack-a-Punch 2 camo. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. I really like it. Vehicles are nothing new. We had that in Outbreak and in DMZ as well. And they have 4 friendly AI with them. That's crazy. I wonder what the max would be, because the max squad size is 6. Can you have 6 plus at least 4 AI? Could you have a team of 10, essentially? That'd be kind of crazy.
Bet they won't be so keen to use this route anytime soon.
There was something glowing on the ground right there. What is that? Looks like a key card. To go open a locked space, perhaps? Look at that. There's a floating key card right here, blue. Similar to like a stronghold key card in DMZ. Maybe that's how you open the strongholds in here. The fortresses, as they called them. Could be. And the different overseers have 4 right there. Also something to notice, which I assume is a bug. It was probably just part of like this play session. They have 1,611 minutes left of this match. There's no way. Like, that'd be crazy. Especially because they said it's going to be 1-hour matches, right? It takes a lot of bullets to kill these guys. The guns definitely feel like Modern Warfare 2, right? Also, like Modern Warfare also. They do not feel like Treyarch's guns by any means. Oh, so that's the Pack-Punch 1 camo. Okay. I like it. That's also really cool. Little animated like a green hex. Almost looks like a snake skin. So there we go. There's the Disciple. And there's another Aether Nest. If you look up on the minimap right past that gas station. Casimir is good, and you can't jump into it. So if you wanted to go get out of trouble and teleport, you can't. So that Disciple is the bounty contract right here. You have to locate the Disciple and eliminate it. So that is your HVT contracts from Outbreak, right? One thing that I really hope is available is previously you could add the damage numbers, right, to each of your hit markers. And so I really hope that they allow that as a setting in the game instead of just hit markers. I want to see if I'm doing 100 damage or 1,000 damage, you know. It's just something I would like to see. They are now in a threat level 3 zone, and you can tell all the zombies are going to have that little Roman numeral 3 next to them. They are going to be beefy. He does have a ray gun. It does a little bit of slash damage to him. Most of that damage came from... Actually, we can go calculate that, right? It did 15 damage, 150... 35, 120, 105. That was 15 damage per ray gun shot to yourself. That's not a lot. You can survive that for sure, especially if it's to get out of a sticky situation, right? And for some reason, they are sticking down to 1 health. That's very interesting. But this is, you can see, this is a brutal area to be in, especially with a non-pack-a-punch ray gun, right? So here, they're going towards this rift. That's the jump pad symbol on the minimap, right? So when you go through that, it acts similar to on the edges of the Outbreak map when you had the rift tears, right? You could jump through and just parachute back, and then you can also collect a bunch of essence in the air, or just reposition yourself if you wanted to get out of trouble, or just travel quickly around the map. You can hold up to 4 kill streaks. Did you see that? You have a kill streak select wheel. So currently he only has a mortar, but you have 3 empty slots as well, which I think is really cool that you can hold multiple kill streaks and just kind of stockpile them, right? Right here, yeah, the escort, you have to escort the ACV, so this is going to be similar to the escort objective in Cold War. It does have a health, you can just get on top of it, which you could not do in Outbreak, which is really cool. Looks like when you get close, it may stop and just start beaming that, whatever that portal is, to get in, and you just have to protect it while it does that. As you can see, it is taking damage, down to 96% health. $95, and then you complete the objective. So I believe right next to him on the map, I believe that's the elemental pop symbol, right? I am very curious what that symbol is, though. Could that just be an insta kill power up? It was in a red hexagon like that when they picked it up. If it shows the power ups on the map, I have not been looking for that. That's actually really cool if it does. If it doesn't, and that's actually just some like enemy marked on the map, that's also really cool. I just like knowing stuff, right? Like I like knowing my surroundings by looking at the minimap. Did it just disappear, or did he turn away from it? I think it disappeared. I think that actually legitimately was an insta-kill on the map. Nice.
Samples are ready for transport. We are sure to get some fascinating data. I am prepping the canister for return.
I will say, the map looks good, and even though it's a Warzone map, like, they did give it kind of like a post-apocalyptic aesthetic, right? Yeah, so see how it's that red hexagon? That was definitely a, let's see. Can we see the nuke on the minimap? We can. It's right next to him on the minimap. You can see it. That's really cool. I like that. And there you go. You escorted and sent the monkey home. I don't know. I don't know what you're escorting in this one. It's not a monkey in a cage.
I'll be cataloging it.
LTV with a turret. Again from DMZ. And this is a deliver cargo. Again from DMZ. Deliver the cargo to the HLZ. There you go, there's a frost blast. Oh, that's cool. So he is also getting credit for all of the road kills in the car, even though he is the passenger. That's really cool. I like that. Gun levels. Always good to see that you can level them up in zombies. Of course you could though, right? That was never a doubt. So they pinged a redeploy drone, which is gonna act the same as it did in Battle Royale. And you saw it's not the teddy bear, it's Mr. Peaks the rabbit has returned to move the box. Oh man, if there are 24 players and only one box location per map, I don't see any other beams of light going up into the sky. Like when he faced the city over there, I did not see any beams of light. And this is now using the jug, and it is nothing like the death machine, right? That thing, it is not really tearing through that storm. The hipfire radius, like these crosshairs are really spread out. It's not super accurate. It's not like one-shotting any of the enemies. It's actually taking time to kill them, right? It's not going to insta-kill an entire horde by just sweeping over it, and then you can focus on the boss. It's actually like you really gotta work for this and have teammates covering you, because you are not going to be a one-man wrecking ball. It's good, but it's not nothing crazy. That mega abomination is crazy though. 3 times the size of a regular abomination is what they said. And again, thank you to Codename Pizza for the gameplay. Let me see how much XP you get for killing it. Kill the mega abomination. We have to, right? 250 for an elite kill. Ugh. Well, there you go. We'll leave it on some zombies. So that is the gameplay for the new Modern Warfare 3 Zombies mode. I think it looks a lot better than what we saw in the showcase. I'm looking forward to trying it out. I am curious how many missions we're gonna have. I think it's gonna add a lot to the replayability. How long we'll be able to, you know, keep ourselves entertained with this mode. If it's a week, if it's a month, if it's forever. Like, I think that is very highly dependent on the missions. I hope there's also a bunch of, you know, hidden Easter eggs and just some fun stuff to play around with, right? For people of all different skill levels. You know, you can focus on some of the more looting stuff. You can focus on some more hardcore Easter eggs in the high threat zones if you wanted, if you're a more hardcore player, right? I think there's definitely the opportunity to have a lot of balance of gameplay mechanics in this for players of all different skill levels and all different interests, right? Not everyone wants to go hardcore every game. They might just want to pop in, had a long day at work or school or whatever, and just want to pop in and play some games, kill some zombies, right? I do think it has potential. We'll just have to wait and see. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. I think it looks sweet. I think it looks better than the showcase for sure. I'm curious what you guys think. If you learned anything new, feel free to show some support with a like, and if you want to see some more in-depth guides like this in the future, hit that subscribe button. See you guys.